Hey guys, welcome to Discoveries Education Entertainment. I'm here with Rocky. My name is Gary B, aka Dr. Discoveries. Hi. He is doing good. He just shed, as you can see. Got a big shed here. And this is actually, hey, get down from there. You've destroyed many of my hats. This is actually the skin of a king snake. That will be another show. King snakes are awesome. They help keep the snake population under control. Rocky don't really like king snakes because king snakes eat other snakes. Hey, today I wanted to talk about kids and exotics. Okay, if you plan on keeping exotic animals, you really need to think about what you're getting. Now, I've seen a lot of things, not really as much on YouTube, but on Facebook especially. I've seen a lot of things that kind of make my skin crawl, and that's pretty hard to do. It's okay, Rocky. Relax. Um, I see things such as people letting their kids around 20-foot snakes. I saw one with this little girl, and there's about a 15-foot python, over top of the couch, and the python, was beautiful. But he opened up his mouth. I forget if it was a python or Burmese python or a large boa constrictor. But anyway, he opened up his mouth, and everybody said it was a yawn and stuff. You know what? When it comes to big snakes like this, I don't take that chance because it's not only the wrapping, the father may have been close, but when I do my shows, you'll see me hold the snake by its head, okay? And that's to make sure he don't get scared, he don't bite anybody. Ain't that right? You don't want to bite nobody, do you, Rocky? So I hold him by his head. This video I saw was really super crazy. Beautiful snake, beautiful little girl. But the first thing I thought is, man, you're going to make all of us look bad. All of us that are like herpetologists or just animal husbandrists, enthusiasts that love big exotics. You're going to make us look bad if people are going to see that and they're going to think, well, these people are crazy. Okay? Don't get too close to my face, buddy. So, don't be putting a giant snake on the back of a couch with your, 4-year-old daughter sitting next to it. If it did bite, you'd have to act quickly. You'd have to grab it by its head, not let it wrap. It'd be a bad scene. Just don't do it. I've got 3 kids. One is 12, one is 10, and one is 2.5. And I let them around the lizards, the small baby lizards and stuff. The older ones, I train them to assist me, so my older kids will assist me, but, I never just let them go at it with the larger exotics, like what I've seen people do on the internet. I've also seen one video where they let this baby, probably 2.5, 3 years old, look like the baby, was learning to walk pretty good and stuff. And he was just grabbing the snake, throwing him around. It was a 15 to 20-foot constrictor, either a Burmese or, one of the large heavy-bodied snakes. And, this kid was riding on this. Snakes are not for riding. They're not. Go buy you a horse or something like that. Snakes are not for riding. Now, if something were to happen, it'd make all of us look bad. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes a good pet, what does not make a good pet with exotics. Um, One more thing I got to mention is I saw a video where this mother let her daughter get on a ride. I'm thinking it was either Louisiana or Florida, maybe Australia, but it was on an alligator. Who lets their, 4 or 5-year-old daughter go take a ride on an alligator? And to that guy that's running the operation, where do you get your insurance? I mean, that is just unbelievable. You do not let your kids go take a ride on an alligator. You just don't. It don't make no sense. It's not cute, you know? So, be smart about some of the things you see or do with exotics. Now, like I said, when I do my shows, I let the kids get close to my animals. I've used Rocky here for about 4 years in my shows, and I keep full control of him. Even if I, let some of the kids hold him, I keep full control of him. Now, the bad thing with snakes like Rocky here will get about 15 foot in length, okay? And he'll get pretty big. He'll get about that round. However, if you get one of the bigger snakes like a reticulated python, a Burmese, when it hits 20 plus feet, first of all, you're going to have trouble controlling it yourself, and that's how accidents happen. Um, you can have them around your shoulders like I got Rocky here, and as you're walking, you trip and you fall. This snake, it don't know. It thinks it's fallen. So what is it going to do? It's going to tighten up, okay? And when it tightens up, okay, if he gets this part around you and you try and grab him right here and pull him off you, it's not going to work. It's like one big muscle there, okay? So you always have to be aware and educated on the animal. Be aware where the head is at all times. Also the tail. You can unwrap a large heavy bodied snake by the tail. But don't try and grab it around the middle. It ain't going to do nothing but make the snake mad and fearful that he's being hurt. So he's going to, squeeze tighter. Um, you know, don't let if your kids are interested in snakes, maybe a ball python. Ball pythons are really good. They rarely bite. They only get up to about 2, 3, 5 feet. And when I say 5 feet, that sounds really big. It's not. Trust me. That's a cool little dude that your whole family can enjoy. Okay, your kids, everybody. But don't be getting no 15-foot python, 20 foot, retic or a Burmese. Don't do it. It's just not fun, and it usually winds up in the hands of people like me that sometimes go rescue some of these animals. Now, um, a good exotic pet might be a ball python, might be a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons are so cool. I love bearded dragons. I have never known a bearded dragon to bite. Okay. A cool one might be a gecko, a lizard. Really cute, really cool. If you want to talk about other types of animals, you can talk about hermit crabs. Uh, Chinchillas are kind of cool. Chinchillas are very messy, though. I mean, no matter what you see on YouTube or whatever, I'm here to tell you they're not going to go poop in their little litter pan, okay? They may poop in a litter pan, but they're also going to poop all over the place. So, chinchillas are a little bit messy, but they do make pretty good pets. Um, Large birds, exotic birds, parrots. Parrots, they make pretty good pets, but you gotta know what you're doing with a large bird like that. You gotta know what you're doing with a parrot. Their beaks are very powerful. Their claws are very powerful, and you know you must instruct your children to stay away from them unless you're there and can guide them in how to properly treat a parrot. Um, I was working in Clum Zoo one time, and one of the show guys, he, had him on his arm, and he was getting ready to, take him out on stage. All of a sudden, for probably no reason, I mean, nothing that I saw, that parrot just also went down on his arm and actually got a vein. and the veins started, gushing out blood. I had to take the parrot. He had to run and take himself or have somebody take him to the hospital. With us animal people, it's no big deal. We expect to get bitten, we expect to get scratched. Um, but, those are the type of things that you really got to think about if you've got little kids in the house. Now, if you've got older ones in the house, good. You could teach them, they could do pretty good. Younger ones, you really got to watch. A little boy, little girl goes up and goes to grab that bird and he's not ready for it. He turns around and bites. That's going to hurt. Um, Hermit crabs, they are the coolest little thing in the world. They don't cost much. They're not very hard to contain. So hermit crabs are really cool if you've got little kids in the house. I really encourage you having some type of pet because that really, really helps the kids. And, you can encourage the kids to learn and read about them through the library system, school system, or even on the internet these days. Um, but monkeys, oh, a lot of people are getting monkeys, and that's really not very cool. Now, some of my friends have monkeys, and they've learned about them. They know how to handle them. But monkeys can be a handful. A monkey is like having a 3-year-old around. I mean, just running around, getting into everything. They'll throw their poop at you, they can bite you, they can scratch you. So you really got to be careful about some of these exotics and children. Um, be careful. I'm just petting you. It's all right. So, Rocky here. I do let my older son. I have trained him and my daughter. They are 12 and 10. I made sure that they got used to handling my small snakes first, like the king snake and ribbon snakes, garter snakes, stuff like that. And then I gradually moved them up when I saw that they were handling them good and everything. I moved them up to Rocky because I trust Rocky. But you know what? Rocky don't know me from anybody else. He don't come when I call him. Here, Rocky, here, boy. No, not going to come. So when it comes to reptiles, especially, I love them because they're simple. Mainly they want heat and they want food. You know, he's not lovingly wrapped around me. He's not giving me kisses or hugs. He's around me because I'm warm. He likes feeling warm. And look, I'm flicking his tongue. He's like, "Is there anything to eat around here?" Relax, buddy. I'll take you to the refrigerator after we're done filming. So, you know, he goes where the warmth is, he goes where the food is. Um, Snakes, as far as I know and I'm concerned, don't see people as food. Usually, if there's a problem with snakes or something like that, somebody's made a mistake. It's usually human error. Um, uh, like I said, put one around your neck and then trip and fall. That snake's going to squeeze you because he thinks he's falling too, which he is. He thinks if he squeezes, it's going to be better, and it's not. So that's what happens during accidents, usually user error. Um, but, I think the best ones, especially for reptiles, are the geckos, the small lizards. Don't get a savanna monitor. Do not get a iguana for a kid. Okay? These are two animals that I think older people should get and have because let's put it this way, and I'll do another show with savannah monitors and show you exactly what I mean. I got this one, his name's Diablo, and he is mean, boy. That's why the place I got him from named him Diablo. uh these lizards, number one, grow big. Number two, they could do some damage with their claws, their teeth, their mouths. So not exactly the kind of exotic that I would have around, with little kids. Just let them go, let them run around with little kids. Do not do that. Even if you're standing there, it only takes a second to bite. Um, Real quick, just to show you an example of that. Um, and with that little girl on the couch and the large snake, when I was working this very large museum doing animal shows and such, we had I'd say it's about 15, maybe 20 foot. I mean, it was big, and it was a Burmese python, and they were feeding her, okay, and after they were done, well, they were feeding the other snakes actually. After they were done feeding the other snakes, this lady that is very good working with animals, she washed her hands and stuff off. But you know what? I don't think, sometimes you can easily trick a snake, because she went in to take, I think her name was Thumbelina, out of her cage, her environment, and she got bit so hard and so quickly that it actually broke her arm. So it's not like you're just going to get a little bite. Uh, it could be serious. So whenever I'm around kids and doing educational shows for kids, I'm really being cautious of the working part of the snake, which to me, the most serious working part is the head. And I encourage everybody out there that has these types of animals to, be cool about it because it really does make the rest of us look bad or silly or reckless. If one of us is putting videos out there that, you know, show uh, giant snakes wrapping around, kids, little girls. And I wouldn't have had a problem if the father was sitting there next to her or holding the snake or something, but this snake was all by itself with this little girl, and the father was back about 10 feet filming. Silly stuff like that. That's just silly, right, Rocky? So, you know, um, they don't necessarily see us as food, but sometimes they will strike, and so you have to be careful of exotics. Um, African hedgehogs, African hedgehogs and kids, that's cool, but they're nocturnal. Remember, if an animal is nocturnal, their normal sleeping habit is during the day, and they're awake during the night. That's what nocturnal means. Usually they have big black eyes. So for you to get a nocturnal pet, first of all, it's kind of unfair to the pet, um, because you're keeping him up when he's supposed to be sleeping, and having him sleep when he's supposed to be up. Uh, that's the same thing with sugar gliders. Oh gosh, everybody loves sugar gliders. If you get sugar gliders, you need to have a whole room to where you could put things hanging down that they can jump from. They need to be able to jump from curtains to ropes coming down from your room. You need to donate a whole room to them. And you got to realize also, they're nocturnal. So most of the time, they're going to be up at night making noise, and they're very messy. So really, just kind of take a look at all the different exotics if you're thinking about getting exotic, and make sure you're getting the right one for you and your family. I'm not going to sit here and say you can and cannot have this or that. Just make sure you learn about them, and you treat the animal good, and you're doing it safely with your family. Okay, guys, guess what? This was fun. Rocky, you were awesome. Let's go to the refrigerator, see if we can find a nice big juicy rat. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off from Discoveries. See ya.